The Chevrolet Corvette C8 E-Ray rendering show possible Ford Mustang Mach-E rival. Now, a mid-engine sports car and an SUV seem to be the two extremities of the automotive spectrum. So how could one design be so convincingly transposed into the other? Well, first of all, the vehicle you see in the picture isn't exactly an SUV, but rather a crossover. And a sporty one at that. The rendering is obviously based on the Jaguar I-Pace EV. And even though we don't know why the artist chose the particular model as their starting point, we might have a solid guess. One of the traits of the mid-engine design is the position of the cabin. Due to the engine sitting behind the cockpit, is moved significantly forward compared to the vehicle with a front-mounted engine. Now that gives them a very specific silhouette, as well as a nearly complete form over the aerodynamic up front. Now pretty much the same goes for the electric vehicles, even though the reasons behind it are a little bit different, with the engine completely removed and replaced by the much smaller motor that sits low in between the front wheels. There is no reason not to move the cabin forward, giving these two EVs in a mid-engine sports car an unlikely common design trait. Well, we can't speak of the K-Design AG, but it was either this reason to pick the I-Pace or the fact that it was red. Given how easy it is for these guys to make the cars any color they want, we tend to lean toward the first hypothesis. However, there's a problem. The Corvette can pull off this short-nosed design because it's a mid-engine car. It gives it 4 seats, if not only 5 seats. And it runs out of place to house the 6.2-liter V8. So while the Corvette C8 crossover looks undeniably great, there is one very important question that it needs to be answered. What's powering this doggone thing? Because it looks awesome. Straight up awesome. Just look at that back end. That is definitely Corvette all the way live. You know, some people see the Corvette. Some people see the I-Pace. I don't see that. I think this looks awesome. Now, the answer is pretty simple, and you can thank Ford for it. If the Blue Oval can get away with the electric Mustang crossover, why couldn't Chevrolet do something similar with the Corvette? We're not saying it's a good idea or one we would endorse, but it's theoretically possible. Or must I say a theoretically possibility. And given how cool this rendering makes it look, it may not be a bad one. It's up to Chevrolet to weigh the risk of the Corvette fans with the pitchforks and the torches gathering outside the company headquarters and the benefits of significant awareness boost in an increasingly EV-centric market. And Megan's decision recently reports suggest that it might not be a far-fetched idea. So just how ironic would a Mustang-Corvette rivalry in the electric crossover segment be? I think this looks awesome. And I think that it would tip the scales. Just like the Corvette is just straight out radical, and it's got a beautiful design. And not only that, but they sold more Corvettes than any other supercar out there. There's no competition. They sold so many of them that if they did this, the sales would sail through the roof. You know, I see the Porsche Macan in this. And, but hey, I think they should, keep within the Chevy design when they do make this. And I think that they could, I think it's the Chevy Transverse, their SUV. I don't know if it's a Transverse. My mind is I'm having some brain farts, but this is straight up awesome. Tell me what you think of this Chevrolet Corvette SUV, the C8 E-Ray. What do you think about this rendering? Put it in the comments. This is Automotive Reviews. Thanks for watching. Remember, like, share, and subscribe.